You may have heard about this new series from a friend or from my introduction video. I am so glad that you are joining us, me and all the amazing journeyers. Did you know that's a real word? I love that word. Me and all my fellow journeyers on our way from chaos to calm. You may have heard a little bit about my story. How only 5 years ago or so, I was, quote unquote, on the road with an abusive man. I was homeless for almost 3 years. Together we had 2 daughters. And fast forwarding to the present, I am enjoying the most blessed and peaceful Christmas season of my entire life. 5 years isn't a long time. I had to learn a lot in the last 5 years about how to live, as they say in the 12-step groups, as a productive member of society, instead of as someone who was draining the life out of every relationship that I was in. So, in this Chaos to Calm series, my goal is to share with you some of those little baby steps that I had to take over and over again over the last 5 years to get to a place where I am no longer in any physical danger in any of my relationships. In fact, I'm not in emotional danger either. I am safe, I am secure, I am happy. Now, my life is not perfect. I still have struggles, but I no longer have chaos. And if you're one of the many people that I've met over the last year and a half of blogging and speaking and radio appearances, who is still struggling with an amazing amount of chaos in your life, or even just a little bit is too much, I'm here to tell you that every baby step forward, whether you get all the way there or you get an inchworm's length down the road, is still progress. You've probably heard me say it many times, that my favorite slogan from the 12-step programs is progress, not perfection. It's sort of the theme of this first day of my 10-day series. The way I wrote it down a little bit ago is, incomplete successes aren't failures. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of really big dreams. And for many years there, I was very tempted to give up on those big dreams. But a big lottery total would, be up on the billboard, or I'd hear about a sweepstakes, or I'd hear one of those rags to riches stories, or homeless to happy stories, and I couldn't resist dreaming again. But when I'd come back to reality, and it was, I remember so distinctly my 2 little girls and I in a teeny tiny apartment, my disability check barely covering rent, having to ask for help a lot more often than I wanted to, just to get by every month. It was really hard to believe that baby step forward was part of a fantastic future. But 4 years farther down the road, I can tell you that foundational step of learning how to show up every day and pay the bills every month and be honest with my friends and neighbors and family again, all of those little baby steps were what laid the foundation for me to come all the way here. And here, this is not my home, but it is a big part of my fantasy home, my dream home, that I know one day will be a reality, just like today a reality of a safe and happy marriage and safe and happy kids is mine. We've been blessed, my family and I, to house sit for my priest and spiritual father, Father Daniel Reese, this past week. And as I've been sitting out in the countryside, just soaking in this blessing of a vacation that my little family can't afford this year. But not just a vacation in a blessed space. Space that I could only describe as full of angels. I can tell you that this entire week, all I've been thinking about is how far God has brought me. And all those tiny little baby steps. All those tiny little baby steps counted in my life. And they absolutely count in your life. So this is where we begin. You know that famous, Chinese proverb, I think, that says that every journey starts of 1,000 miles. Every journey of 1,000 miles starts with just one step. Something like that. It's the same for every one of us. Some of my favorite quotes are about making it through the tough times and never giving up. You know, the ones by Einstein or Michael Jordan when he talks about how he had to, miss hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free throws before he finally started tipping the scales to where it became his strength instead of his weakness. So my message to you today, and believe me, I need to hear this often too, is this: incomplete successes are not failures. Doesn't matter if we feel like we're going around in circles and covering the same ground we covered last week and last month and last year. Progress, not perfection, means that even when we cover that same ground, it's not really the same. Just might appear that way. I'm going to share one action step that we can take each day to move us from chaos to calm in 3 different areas of our lives: our health, our time, and our things, what we're surrounded with. Things as wide-ranging as money, our belongings, sometimes even people we can treat as things. I'll describe that a little bit better later on. So be looking for 1 email a day for the next 9 days following this email today. You'll get a link to the video. You'll get a PDF copy that you can print out of a really short worksheet. Basically, a couple journaling questions, maybe an interesting diagram that'll help you understand a little bit more of what I'm trying to share. And what I ask of you is simply this: please let me know if anything I say confuses you or inspires you. And lastly, make sure you pass this series along to someone you know that needs a boost. A boost for 2012, a boost in getting to their fantastic future, and some encouragement along the way. Remember, we're stronger together than we could ever be alone. Thank you for listening. I am blessed to have you join me. This is Elise Adams of Adams Organizing and New Life Recovery Coaching.